In this video, we're looking at fractional indices. So fractional indices have a specific meaning and special meaning. So the numerator, so the top number of the fraction, is the power that we raise the solution to, and the denominator is the root of the number. All right, so just remember that. So if we look at a to the power of 1 over 2, that's the same as having the square root of a. All right, now an example of that would be 4 to the power of a half, and that's the same as having the square root of 4, which is 2. The next one, if it's a to the power of 1 over 3, you get the cube root a. So if we had 27 to the power of a third, we would cube root 27 and get 3. So the pattern here is that the bottom number controls what the root is. So a to the power of 1 over n is the same as having the nth root of a. So if I put any number in there, such as x to the power of 1 over 7, I have to have the 7 root x, right? Now, that top number, like I said, was the power. So if we look at that last example there, we have a to the power of m over n. So n root a to the power of m. So if we had 2 to the power of 2/3, the third indicates the root and the 2 indicates the power. So we would get the cube root of 2 to the power of 2, okay? So we'll look at some examples. So the first one here, we have evaluate 16 to the power of a quarter. So evaluate just means solve. So I'm going to convert this to a root symbol just to make it a little easier. Now remember, the bottom number is essentially your root. So we're going to have the 4 there and 16 goes there. You can use a calculator at this point and you get the answer of 2. So here we have g to the power of a half. Now because the 2's on the bottom, that's just a square root. All right, so we get the square root of g. Here, 8 to the power of 5 over 3. Now remember, the top is your power and the bottom is the root. So we end up getting a cube root of 8 to the power of 5. And that gets us an answer of 32. All right? So here we're doing the opposite now. So we need to go from this to a fractional index. All right? So we need to write this. Now remember, the root here is your denominator, and your 3 is your numerator. Now remember, that's just denominator is the bottom, numerator is the top. So we end up with a numerator we said was 3 over 5. Alright, now this one's a little bit more complex, so I'm going to focus on the bottom part and ignore the 1 over just right now. So remember, that's our denominator. The 16 is our numerator. And I'm going to convert it. So I know I have the 1 on top first, and then we've got m to the power of 16 over 4. So I can actually simplify down that 16 over 4 to get 1 over m to the power of 4. Now, if you remember your index laws, if something's on the bottom of a fraction, that indicates that you have a negative power. All right, so this means you have a negative power. So we can convert that to m to the power of negative 4. Alright, to recap the video, remember your numerator, the top number, indicates what the power inside is, and the bottom number, or the denominator, indicates the root symbol. So if we had a to the power of 1 over 2, that's a square root. A to the power of 1 over 3, that's a cube root. A to the power of 1 over n, that's the nth root. And then again, a to the power of m over n, you have the nth root of a to the power of m. So you can see your examples on the right there as well.